strong and get healthy. Stretch. Feel great about yourself and have some fun. It's time for you. Fitness is the key to your future. Don't get locked out. Take the challenge. Commit to be fit. Prepare to feel relaxed and focused today on Commit to be Fit. I'm Susie Smith, and we're in the middle of the hottest time of the year. High heat, high humidity, and it's hard to keep that workout going, especially if you're the type of person that likes to work out outside. I hope you're keeping your workout up during the summer, but I understand if you've been having trouble lately. If you're out running or bicycling or even just walking your dog, the humidity has been so high lately that it sets you up for heat stroke and dehydration. So you want to be really careful. And the workout I have today involves stretching and balancing, two components that are generally neglected somewhat in fitness. We do a lot of working out, but we kind of forget about the balance issues and stretching the muscles. And we need to do more of that. And I thought this is the perfect time of the season because with the weather being so hot, your muscles are more pliable and they really want to stretch as opposed to in the middle of winter when everything just gets really tight. So this is the perfect scenario for you, this high heat, high humidity, to start your stretch routine and your balance routine. And stretching is very instinctive. It's imprinted in us. When we get up in the morning, we just automatically start stretching our muscles and just feeling good and kind of getting everything loose. And that's instinctive. You'll notice your dogs do that. When they wake up, they stretch up and they stretch down. And it's just something that we instinctively do. But we have to be careful how we stretch. We need to elongate all of the muscles as much as we can to their fullest extension. But we have to be careful. And today I want to show you how to stretch properly. There's many benefits to stretching, and the top 5 benefits, though, I wanted to bring to your attention today. The first one would be increased flexibility. That's pretty obvious. You have to stretch to get flexible. And you think, well, why do I need to be any more flexible? If you think about how your skeletal system is, how the bones connect. Bones are connected to bones by ligaments, and muscle attaches to the bone by a tendon. So you have all this soft tissue things going on inside of your body, and if they're tight on one side, say your tendons are tight or your ligaments are tight, it's going to pull that skeletal system off to the side or twisted, and that's going to take you out of alignment. So increased flexibility is going to help with those soft tissues and injuries. It's going to help you from getting soft tissue injuries, and it's also going to make you move a little faster if you're more flexible. The second main benefit of stretching is that it improves circulation. And I love that part of it because when you think about how the blood moves from your heart and it goes to the muscles, it's taking nutrients there. And then as it gets there and delivers the nutrients, it takes the bad stuff out of your blood and refilters everything. So improves your circulation, which means that you are going to recover quicker because the nutrients are getting to your soft tissues faster. The third main benefit would be balance and coordination. And if, like I said about your skeletal system, if your muscles are tight on one side and they're looser on the other side, it's pulling your body out of alignment. And I've noticed before when I get tight in a hip flexor, it starts to pull me onto a slight twist. Now, what that does as far as balance and coordination, it ups your risk for falls because you're not walking properly, you're not centered, you don't have as much weight distribution on both sides. So balance and coordination. The fourth main benefit would be it helps lower back pain. If you stretch, you're going to set your body up again in alignment. And we'll be talking about alignment a lot because I love thinking about everything being the same on the right side as it is on the left as much as possible. But if you have tight hamstrings, and you can kind of think about this, you can visualize this is tight, and so it's tight, it's shortening. When it's tight, it's short, and it's going to start pulling on my low back. So my hamstrings are tight, I'm starting to pull on my low back, and that's where I get a lot of pain. And the hips, if your hips are tight, it's going to start pulling you off to the side. And you want to think about, let me grab a piece of paper here to kind of give you a demonstration. If this were your pelvis, I want your pelvis to be in a neutral position. If your hamstrings are tight, it's going to tighten you up, and your pelvis is going to come out like this. It comes out, the bottom tilts out, and if your quads are tight, and then it starts to tilt the other way. So this is your pelvis tilting forward, tilting back. You don't want that. You don't want to have that arched position, and you don't want to be folded forward. So you have to have muscle balance. And muscle balance also involves opposing muscle groups. My bicep is the opposing muscle to my tricep. So if I'm flexing my bicep, I just kind of wanted to show that. But if I'm flexing my bicep, I'm stretching my tricep. If I'm flexing my tricep, I'm stretching my bicep. So you see how everything has to work in conjunction here. So that helps lower back pain by keeping everything stretched accordingly, evenly. The fifth most important, one of the 5 main benefits rather, is cardiovascular health. Your artery function starts to improve. Your blood pressure lowers because you're stretching. You're getting everything moving through your body. So you can see how important it is to stretch. And that's going to be the first part of our workout today. And I want you to replace your regular workout with this on those high humidity days. And we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Akon. Hi, my name is Alex Barker, the Amazing!
I'm Jacob Wagner.
Hi, I'm Austin.
This is Scout 350, and you're watching BPTV. Isn't that awesome?
Here comes the monster, the Tickle Monster.
Just imagine what a little time can do for your family.
Okay, we're back. Before we start the stretching, I'd like to explain to you a little bit about stretching. Stretching doesn't come quickly. If you're holding a stretch, you need to hold it for 30 seconds before it releases. That's just the way our bodies work. And another thing we have to think about while we're stretching is perfect posture, because I don't want you to be out of alignment when you start your stretching. So your shoulders need to be even and back, and you want to keep that pelvis parallel to the wall in front of you, so you're not twisted off to one side. And you're even on your feet, even pressure on both sides. And just try to think of good posture while you're in the exercises. And sometimes I'll count to 30, or sometimes I'll look at a clock, or I'll say the alphabet while I'm stretching, just to make the time go by. And you really want to be careful with your posture, and you want to keep the breathing going. You want to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. So let's get started with the 10 most common stretches. And there are a million stretches, a million ways that you can do these stretches. I'm going to show you 10 basic common stretches that you need to add into your routine. Okay, the first one is going to be a calf stretch. And you want to make sure you warm up before you start stretching. So just walk around your house or up and down the steps a few times, and you'll get warmed up enough. But what I want to do is just hold on to a chair, and I want to take my one foot back. And I'm going to take it back and push my heel down. And you never want to force through stretches. Stretches should be comfortable. You should stretch close to your limit, but not past your limit. So just hold that back and push your heel down. And I want to make sure that both of my hips are facing forward when I do this. And if I need to go back further, a little more stretch, I'll just take that leg back. But my knees are facing forward, my hips are in line with my shoulders, and I just want to keep everything in nice form. So you do 30 seconds on that side, and then you'll go to the other side. You want to make sure you do both sides evenly for 30 seconds. Because remember what we said, if you're stretched out on one side but not on the other, you're not going to be even, and you're going to have problems with your weightlifting too. So the next stretch would be a hamstring stretch, and a simple way to do a hamstring stretch would be to put one foot forward. So I just want you to put one foot forward, and you're actually stretching the calf too at this point. Bring your toe of the front foot toward you. And I want you to hold your stomach in, remember your posture. Now the back leg is going to bend. And I see this all the time. I see people with their hand on this front leg. You don't want to do that. You want to put your hand on the back leg, and you want to sit back. My back knee should still be behind that back toe. It's not out here. So form is everything. So put your hands on the bent knee, and I'll tell you why. If you keep your hands here and you're pushing, there's a chance you're going to hyperextend these behind your knee. You're going to hyperextend there. So you don't want to push on a straight leg. You want to push on the bent leg. And you'll kind of arch your back a little and bring your chin in. And I want your back to be straight. You're pushing your butt out to the back, and you're stretching this hamstring. And you just breathe into it. Just breathe, inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, and really make sure you get that 30 seconds on both sides. Okay, the next one is a quad stretch, and that's the front of your leg, which is the opposing muscle group to the hamstring. And remember, we said if the hamstring is tight, your back is going to start pulling, and you're really going to feel that. And you can never really relax if your hamstrings are tight, and this must be imprinted in us, because even back when people hunted, back in caveman days or whenever, they were always on the ready. Their hamstrings were tight. Now, if your hamstrings are tight, it sends a signal to your body that you're either running away from something or you're running towards something. You're ready to go. So a tight hamstring is not going to let you relax. So that's really important. And then the opposite one is your quad. So we're just going to take your foot behind up to your butt, and you're going to keep your knee down. Let me show you this a little more forward here. I don't want this happening. This takes you out of alignment. Think about the skeletal system and how everything is in alignment, and you want to stand nice and straight. Now, this is going to be hard for some people to get their foot here if they're not flexible, and they're going to be doing something like this. So you don't want to do that. You want to get a man's tie, or this is a yoga strap, and just take a hold of it and just kind of pull your foot toward your behind. You don't have to go all the way up to your butt if it's going to take you out of alignment, because remember, posture is just everything when you're stretching, or you're not going to stretch properly. Okay, hip flexors get really tight. That's the muscle that goes right here, and that muscle helps you lift your knee and helps you bend forward. But if your hip flexor is really tight, you can see it shortens, because tight is short, stretched is long. So this is short if it's tight, and then it's pulling my back over. And if my hamstring's tight, it's pulling me out of alignment back this way, and we want to keep that flat, neutral pelvis. So the hip flexor, you can do that by stepping back into that calf move that we just did. And then bend your front leg a little more, and you can lift that heel up in the back, and you're going to feel it right here. Now, a lot of times they'll show this move on the floor, and they'll show you have a knee on a towel, and this knee is over the ankle. I don't like this, though, because it sets up problems for people that have knee problems. And Most of us have some kind of issue with our knees after a certain age, so I would stay away from that. You'll see that around a lot, though, on the knee. But just take it back and just squat down into it, and you're really going to feel this on the hip flexor. Okay, the next stretch of our 10 common stretches is the iliotibial band, the IT band. You'll usually hear that called. And it attaches at your hip, and it goes all the way down to your knee. And I never thought about the IT band very much until I was training for a marathon. And every time I would go over 12 miles, my IT band would shrink. And when your IT band gets tight and shrinks, what it does, it comes from here down to your knee, it starts to pull your knee out to the side. And it's extremely painful. So that's how I found out about the IT band. It was tightening up. So what you need to do with that, and these are all really simple, easy exercises to do, but they're important to keep your body healthy. So put one foot over the other. And I like to keep a chair for balance. You don't have to if you have good balance, but if your balance is suffering, you want to keep that chair to help you. So reach over, and you can see that by putting this foot over and reaching the opposite way, I'm really stretching out all the way from that knee, all the way up, stretching that IT band. But remember, you hold that for 30 seconds. I'm just doing abbreviated ones today so that you can see how to do the proper form. So the next one would be knee to chest. And a lot of times they show this on the floor. You can do it on the bed. I'm not going down on the floor today, but you can lay on your bed and do this. But what I like is to do this stretch in a chair because it's hard getting up and down off the floor sometimes. And if you have osteoporosis, I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but you don't want to lie on your back and do ab crunches or any kind of stretches that you're laying on your back and putting pressure on, because that can actually make the bones crush in your back. So I would say, to be on the safe side, the next one is knee to chest. I would just do it in a chair. I would either put your hand behind your leg and pull it up, or just take it here. And you can kind of round your back a little bit and just really stretch. You're gonna love this when you get through this routine. 30 seconds, and just be really careful about staying warm. You don't want to stretch in a cold room. I brought along a little rubber band today. This represents your muscles. And if I would put this in the freezer, it would come out, it would be hard, and I would try to stretch it and it would snap. But if it's warm, it's going to be pliable. Ow! I wanted it to go your way. But yeah, so you want to keep your muscles warm, and that way they'll stretch better. So, okay, I would do those knees to chest, though. You can do one at a time in the chair, 30 seconds, and bring it up to the other side. Okay, we're back up to standing. And shoulders are very important to keep stretched. We're stretching everything today. But shoulders, I have a lot of tension in my shoulders, and I need to keep stretching. So the first stretch for shoulders is for the rotator cuff. You want to drop your shoulders down, away from your ears. You don't want to be up here like Ed Sullivan. You want to come down here and just relax and let your shoulder blades come together and slide down your back. Now take your arm and take it across your chest. And I don't want your arm to start coming up to your ear again. Let it relax. And as you're stretching, you're exhaling. You want to exhale when you stretch. Inhale and exhale. And just go for 30 seconds again, and take a little 10-second break in between if you need to, and go to the other side and make sure you drop that down. This will really help your rotator cuff. And most people do have rotator cuff problems that, I've talked with. It's just, it's a delicate area. So there are several areas of the rotator. That stretch we just did works the whole rotator cuff, but if we pull our arm up behind us, we're going to get into the internal rotators. This is a little difficult for some people. I used to be pretty good at this. See if I can get this on straight. Okay. But I broke my arm in March, and my shoulder and my rib, so I'm still recovering. But this is what this looks like. You grab on, pull up, and just wait it out for 30 seconds. And this is going to work on those internal rotators. And I know this is a little awkward for some people. I'm trying to get back to where I can touch my hands together. I'm getting close, but it takes a while. So you're going to have to work on that and then just take it to the other side. You can use a towel or a men's tie, man's tie, anything like that, and just hold it for 30 seconds. Okay. Neck stretch. A lot of times you'll see this is the neck stretch, but some people have trouble with their shoulders, lifting them up. So I'd like to show you a different way to do a neck stretch. It's just to stand, feet a little more than hip width apart, and let your shoulders just fall. Just relax. You really want to relax while you're stretching. And let your shoulders drop. You're going to inhale. You're standing in good posture. As you exhale, turn your head to one side. Inhale again, and then exhale and pretend you're looking down at your little toe. You're going to feel this on the side of your neck. And it's a really good feel. And just look down at your toe, and then come back up and back over to center. So you'll inhale here, and then exhale to the side. Inhale again. Exhale, look down at your little toe, and hold that for 30 seconds. And bring it back up, and come back over to center. Okay, the upper back and chest. Really need to stretch upper back and chest. Most of the things that you do during the day involve being on the computer, picking up kids, carrying groceries. Everything is this way. So we want to stretch the opposing muscles. The chest is the opposing muscle to your back. So what we're going to do is start with our arms straight out. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to come back and just squeeze the shoulder blades together and open the chest. And stay for 30 seconds. And then inhale. And as you exhale, come out here and hold for 30 seconds. And just really get into the spreading of the shoulder blades, releasing the tension, taking your shoulders down away from your ears, bringing it back and opening the chest. And that's really important. And like I said, you can, play any kind of little mind game. Sometimes I like to say the alphabet while I'm doing my stretches to make the time go by. ZYX, WVU, TSR, QPO, NML, KJI, HGF, EDCBA. You could say it forward too if you want to. It takes me 10 seconds, so if I say it 3 times, I've got 30 seconds. You can use a clock. You can count it off. Just have fun with it. And our second thing that we want to do today that goes right along with stretch is balance. I just have a few basic balance things for you today. I've had inner ear problems before, and many of you watching today have probably had the same thing. It's really common. And we lose our balance. So what I want you to do is spread the toes on one foot. I'm going to do it on my right foot. I'm spreading the toes. I'm going to hold on to here until I feel comfortable. And you can always just put one finger on a chair, and then when you're ready, just take your hand off. Now, what's going to help you balance on one foot, which is your most basic balance exercise, is to find a focal point. In yoga, it's called your drishti. But you find a spot on the other side of the wall. I'm going to stare at a spot on the wall, and I'm going to empty everything out of my head and just stare at that spot and focus. And that will help you with your balance. But what I don't want to happen is you're keeping your balance and losing your posture. You don't want to do this. So just keep touching onto the chair. You've got good posture. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is just a little bit harder. You're going to balance on the balls of your feet. And once you get the 2-foot balance down, this is a little harder. is balancing on the ball of one foot. So just, you can hold on to the chair while you do this, just barely. You can touch, take it off, touch again. And you're working all of those, you're working balance, but you're working all those Golgi tendons and muscle spindles and things that send messages to your brain that you need to be balanced. So you're working on that. And the more you work on it, the better it's going to be. And the last one for balance, I hope you don't have to use this, but I'm going to move my chair back. And it's the heel-toe sobriety test. So hopefully you won't have to use this, but I'm going to step on a line here, and I'm just going to go heel and toe. Just heel in front of my toe, and try not to look at your feet. And then backwards. And this is harder than it seems if you've had balance issues, but that is an excellent way to work on your balance. You've got the one foot up on the balls of your feet, and then your sobriety test. And we'll be right back.
My little brother is thinking about retiring.
I went to socialsecurity.gov to get a retirement benefit estimate. It was so easy.
When it's time to retire, you can file online.
I knew that.
They grow up so fast.
Hello, Bethel Park. This is Rock 600. Watch BPTV.
Well, finally, I have two announcements today. One is, don't forget the Washington Area Humane Society. We have a Pets for U.S. Vets program there in 84 PA, so local veterans don't have to pay adoption fees anymore. We just want to give back to our beloved local veterans. So please go down and adopt a dog or cat, and just take your DD-214 form with you, and that's all you need. And you can adopt a best friend. And if you are not a veteran and you would like to make a donation to that fund to help keep it going, that would be great too. So spread the word on the Veterans Fund. I would really appreciate that. We have so many animals this time of year down there that really need homes. So if you're looking for a buddy, please go there. And if you're a veteran, they're free and they're already spayed, neutered, up to date on shots, microchipped and socialized and defleed and just waiting for you. And my second announcement is a very important announcement. A fellow TV show host here at BPTV on Let's Talk Tailwaggers, Susan Roberti. This is her 17th anniversary this month, July, that she's been doing her Let's Talk Tailwaggers show. And I just think that's the most special thing in the world. She's helped so many animals through BPTV, and she's gotten so many people together and helped raise money for the Pets for U.S. Vets, and she's a wonderful person, and I think she deserves a round of applause for 17 years of volunteer work at BPTV. Susan Roberti. All right, well, let's beat the heat and humidity this summer by stretching our way through it. So stick with me on this and take the challenge and commit to be fit.